So LeBron James was assigned to the Lakers NBA G League affiliate South Bay, and he went through his first practice of this NBA season, and most critically, his first 5-on-5 action of the season as he works toward a debut from sciatica on the right side. Sources told me this afternoon that LeBron James looked great, felt great as he went through that practice. He moved well, and he didn't show signs of any issues as he's worked through this nerve issue on his right side. My understanding right now is that LeBron James is motivated and eager to get back out on the court, potentially here mid to late this month. As the Lakers move forward here, evaluating him day by day, it's going to be about how he feels tonight, how he feels tomorrow, responding to the intensity of his first 5-on-5, his first few practices. I would expect him to get more under his belt before he makes his debut, of course. But this now starts the process of LeBron James making a return and debut for his historic 23rd NBA season.
Shams, thank you so much as always, man. Appreciate it. All right, Wendy, let's start with you. Your thoughts on the news that we got.
So I was at the Clippers game on Monday. They were very concerned about Bradley Beal's situation. I think they probably knew by then that it was very serious. The Clippers are 3-8 because they are a bottom 5 defensive team when they were a top 3 defensive team last year. That is the big difference. But I will tell you, Perk, that going through that building, the sense of loss of Norm Powell is felt everywhere. That decision had multiple layers. Also, was a contractual decision, especially the fact that Norm is killing in Miami. And for the for the Lakers, LeBron is going to go through a very methodical process here, but obviously when the Lakers come back from this road trip, you want to look to get him into practice with the Lakers, go through that step, and then I think you could see him out there shortly after that.
Janae?
40-year-old LeBron James is in the best probably scenario that he's been since he won a championship in 2016. He has 2 guys that he can rely on in Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. He's always had a 30% usage rate. He's never gone below 28%. This is a year where they can actually protect him offensively because he has guys that he can trust to really generate. So I do believe that LeBron taking his time has actually been the best case scenario for this Lakers squad, who is trending upward. Luka's top 2 and MVP candidate. Austin Reeves has shown he's more than capable to be a distributor, and he's got DeAndre Ayton locked in. This is a great situation for the Los Angeles Lakers overall.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. We'll see King James back soon, and for Bradley Beal, a speedy.
What do you think is the biggest difference between the way you ended last season once Jimmy got here and what's going on right now?
I think everybody was committed to winning and doing that any way possible. And right now, it doesn't feel that way. I think everyone has a personal agenda in this league, but you have to make those personal agenda work in the team confines. And if it doesn't work, then you kind of got to get rid of your agenda. Or eventually the agenda is the cause of someone getting rid of you.
Where does that lack of commitment to winning show up on the court?
Getting your ass kicked by 30 shows up fast.
Interesting comments there by Draymond. The Warriors have been an enigma wrapped in a mystery so far this season. Through 12 games, already having 3 losses by at least 20 points. Last season, the Dubs had 5 20-point losses in total, which has folks in the Bay a bit concerned. So we now welcome in Anthony Slater, who covers the Warriors. Anthony, you had a front row seat to Draymond questioning the Warriors' commitment to winning. What more can you tell us about those comments?
Yeah, I actually went up to Draymond afterwards and kind of tried to clarify it a little bit. You know, he made sure to say I was speaking about everyone, and that's been some of the, noise coming from the Warriors today is like it's an everyone needs to help fix this type of thing. The veterans didn't play well last night and haven't played well recently, but when you start talking about personal agendas and just the way that answer was framed, obviously you look at 2 of the Warriors' youngest players who have publicly voiced their desires for more. Jonathan Kuminga, we know about the contract situation this summer. He started the season well. He's tailed off a bit lately, a lot of turnovers. And then Brandon Pajemski, he's made a lot of comments about, his long-term career desires. And he had a quote in a press conference about how he hopes to be better than Steph Curry. And I think there's a little bit of, eye-rolling at some of the comments, but also a look at Kuminga and Pajemski going, the veterans need help now. They're tired already early in the season. Steph was sick. And they just, if these guys are going to be about it and leap their career, they need to do it and do it in a way that helps them win.
So, Anthony, look, the Warriors were not very good on either end yesterday, but what's been the big issue with them offensively to start the season?
If I'm going to be honest, I would say the lack of Steph Curry in the last 6 games. You mentioned kind of the Jekyll and Hyde act of the team. Well, they went 4-1 because Steph Curry was healthy, fresh, coming out of the preseason. He had 42 in an overtime win, over the Nuggets. He was really good. And then on the road trip in India and Milwaukee, he played poorly, and the Warriors' offense played poorly, and they lost. Then he got sick. He missed 3 games. Last night, he's huffing and puffing out there trying to get his conditioning back. Plays 20 minutes, shoots 4-13, fouls 5 times. And, it's the reality of this team. When Steph Curry's not there, oftentimes their flaws get exposed. You saw it in the second round against Minnesota when they lost all 4 games without him. And, I think that the best cure for this team is a really good Steph Curry.
All right, simple enough. We'll see how that all works out, Anthony. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. All right, the Warriors are coming off their first game of a 6-game road trip that could spell some trouble. Golden State has now lost 6 straight games on the road, and 5 of their 6 games during this upcoming trip are against teams who either have a winning record or made the playoffs last season. All right, welcome into the studio. George Sedano in for Malika today. We're here with Chiney Ogwumike, Brian Windhorst, and Kendrick Perkins. Brian, I'll start with you. Your reaction to Draymond's comments.
First off, I think it's a good idea not to make sweeping assessments on your team when you're on a 6-game road trip and you played in Oklahoma City. Everybody's going to feel a little beat up when they deal with the Thunder. But I absolutely do think Draymond was trying to send a message here. You could even see in the clip, he paused, and he's like, am I going to do this? Yes, I am. And he was trying to send a message to his teammates. I think what he was talking about is about team play, but I don't know what he was talking about. But he definitely wanted to send a message. And I will say this, talking to folks around the Warriors, this start of the season, even though it hasn't been crazy on this schedule, it has tired their older guys out. And so they have leaned on the younger players a little bit more, as we saw Steph miss some games with illness. And the younger players have kind of let the ball go through their fingers a little bit. So I do think there's a number of things that are going against them right now.
Chiney, what is your level of concern?
Picking up what you're putting down, the ball going through their fingers, the young players, I think that's where their frustration is, because Jonathan Kuminga has 5 turnovers. The rest of the Warriors starters have 6 combined. Trace Jackson-Davis, 6 turnovers. I think that's their issue. It's not the fact that they're turning the ball over, it's that the young players are. But you need those young guys, especially when you're an aging team, a team full of veterans. You need those guys to be confident, especially on a night when you guys are not really performing to your standard level. And so I think pointing the finger, I'm glad he did it at everybody. So it's like all 5, 8 plus thumbs at everyone, including Draymond himself. But I do think the biggest issue is this is the Golden State Warriors, right? They need to be road warriors. They can't just be warriors. Going up, having 6 of their last road games being lost. Like, he's putting a battery in their back, Draymond Green, to say, we have a tough test ahead and we need to meet the challenge.
Perk?
Well, 2 things. Number one, I'm glad Steve Kerr took ownership in saying that it's on me, too, as well, to put those guys in position to be successful. That's number one. Number 2, Draymond, it's not a problem with younger guys having individual goals and agendas. You had them. You wanted to make all-star games. I'm going to give you a story. I'm with the Celtics. We just come off winning the NBA championship, right? KG is out the next year for a knee injury. Rondo is balling. I'm balling. I'm averaging a double-double. I'm knocking at the door of being an all-star. We go through a bad little slump. I think we lose like 3 or 4 games in a row. We have a coming to Jesus meeting on the airplane late night when we land back in Boston. We hashing it out. People are getting it off their chest. KG speaks. Perk, you my dog and all, but I feel like, bro, you playing selfish basketball. Like you trying to make the All-Star game. That's how it's looking, B. That's how you talking. That's how it's looking, B. I get up, I'm pissed. I'm walking off the plane. He like, my dog, you just go turn your back and walk off the plane? Sam Cassell goes to KG and tells KG, hey, man, he should want to make the All-Star game. This young fella got goals, individual goals. KG comes to me the next day. I'm getting my workout in, and he said, Perk, dog, my bad, big dog. Any way I can help you reach that individual goal, you should want to make the All-Star game. That's what real leaders do.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt about it. So, all right, we got to shift gears here because we have breaking news out of Los Angeles. We welcome in our senior insider, Shams Charania. Shams, what can you tell us about Bradley Beal and the Clippers?
George, Bradley Beal, as I take my AirPods here off a phone call, Bradley Beal has sustained a fractured hip and he will undergo season-ending surgery, sources tell me. So Bradley Beal, his season is over. He suffered the injury over the weekend in Saturday's home loss against the Phoenix Suns, his old team. And Brad Beal's representative, Mark Bartelstein of Priority Sports, tells ESPN today, we met with numerous doctors and specialists around the country in collaboration with the entire Clippers medical staff over the last few days and came to the decision unanimously that the surgery will allow Brad to have a full and complete recovery. So Bradley Beal will undergo season-ending hip surgery. Of course, a brutal blow for the Clippers, off to a tough start this season. They made the trade to go get John Collins, and that came with Brad Beal as well after they moved Norman Powell to the Miami Heat in the offseason.
Yeah, brutal news there, Sham. Stand by for 1 second. We want to react to that real quick. Perk, your thoughts?
Well, Nico just got fired for Dallas having a 3-8 record. It's time for Lawrence Frank to do the same. Like, I feel sorry for Bradley Beal, but over the past 3 years, history has shown us that something has been bothering him. And so you replace a guy that was averaging 24 points for you, knocking at the door of being an all-star, Norman Powell, to go get a Bradley Beal that showed and proved you nothing over the last 3 years with Phoenix. And look at what Norman Powell is doing. Dallas was been monitoring Luka and the Lakers. I know you see what Norman Powell is averaging 25 points over his last 5 or 6 games.
Killing it.
How many chances do Lawrence Frank is going to get? Like, seriously, they have done absolutely nothing since he's taken over this organization.
Perk, we have more news out of L.A. Sham.